Oh God, why now? Oops. I don't know what's wrong with the network. I'm really sorry. I don't know. I fixed it from my own hand. I don't know.
What happened? You just went off.
It just went off. Instagram said they don't know, the network is not strong, and they just took it off.
And
So I
you're in
fixed it from
Austria.
this.
You're abroad. So it's not like, I don't know.
I don't understand. Like I fixed it from this end. I don't know what the problem is, but I think it should be better now. I'm not using Glow MTN though.
Exactly. That's what. Exactly. That's my point. Okay. So anyway, initially, I think I did a brief introduction. I kind of explained the roles of women, the multiple
Yeah.
roles of women, and everything. So yeah. Obviously, World Health Organization. I think they say women constitute 50% of the population in the world. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they say.
That's true. You're right from research. And yeah, and I saw more. So let me let you continue.
Yes. So when if okay, let me just add this as a joke, as a side joke.
Okay.
If women are 50% population of the world, so why is the Bible now saying that there will come a time when three women will be begging one man? That means that the men are not even enough, sir. Abi, I'm just saying, me and my jokes, but I'm just saying, hey. So, but let's leave that on our side. Okay, so I feel there is something about educating a woman and educating a community, educating a
True.
society, because that woman that is educated from her baby, the education will start from her own baby. the things that she'll be teaching her own child are the things that she has learned. She cannot teach her
Yes.
child what she hasn't learned. So the first thing she's teaching is what she has learned before the child even begins to go to school.
Yeah.
So anything the child is going to school to learn is added, is like extra. Because
Exactly.
if a mother knows ABC, she'll be using it to sing lullaby to a baby of 3 months, right? A, B,
Right.
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, yeah? But if she doesn't know, if she doesn't know ABCD and she knows I'm Igbo, right? If she doesn't know ABCD and she knows one no no one no no nta, one no no one no no nta is an Igbo song. One no no one no no nta, Tilzanzan Turuza. That's what she'll be playing for her child too, because that's what she knows. You understand?
Yes.
But
Yes.
if she knows ABCD, she'll be singing ABCD. If she does not know, she'll be doing one no no nta, Tilzanzan. So it's better you educate her so that she starts to impart that education on the child from birth. You understand? So that's it. Now, I feel that over generations and generations over, women are like, if you empower them with small, they will multiply. And I think socially, to an extent, there's a threat of how far or how good they can go. And so the best thing to do to keep them in check is by not educating them. And this is worse with the African society. Because in Africa, it's just recently that they started believing in educating the woman. Before, in a family of girls and boys, the girls don't go to school. They would rather spend
True.
money to send the boys to school. Because they believe, this one, just let her just stay in the kitchen and learn how to cook and clean. That's what she'll be doing for the rest of her life. Cooking, cleaning, and having children. So just, leave her there. But thank God for civilization that parents are now learning that no, you need to educate, because the same advantage that son would have, being an educated son, is the same thing you can enjoy from the woman as well. As a matter of fact, the
Exactly.
women think of home more, because a woman will still get married and remember her father and her mother that, oh, I need to build a house, for instance, for my parents. But once a man gets married, he's now thinking of his wife and the wife's family and his
Exactly.
children. So is it
True.
not better to also, just as you're empowering the man, empower your daughter as well? So that when they both grow, they will now combine, finances and help the family and help everybody in the society. Women never forget. I've rarely heard where a woman got married and forgot her parents. Nothing. She would always remember that, no, I need to do this. Even if she needs to start sharing her homekeeping money or something. So obviously in the family, and I'm just thinking about it. Every role a woman can play outside, she can play in her family. Yeah? She can be a leader in the
True.
house as well.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
can be a leader outside. She can be an administrator in a firm. She can also be an administrator in the house. As a matter of fact, in America, officially they call a housewife a home manager. Let's say you're filling a form and they say, oh, occupation, right? They always put
Yeah.
it somewhere there. If you're
Home
a
manager.
housewife, they don't put, yes, they say home manager. Once they see, or once I see home manager, I know that, okay, this person has been in. And you see, the difference between the West and Africa is, if you put that in your CV, let's say you've been having children and you've not had a work experience for a long time. If you put home manager in your CV, they will know that, okay, this person is good in organizing. They're
Yeah.
going to ask you for the age range of your children. They'll know that,
Yeah.
okay, this person has experience in taking care of children. They count all those things as something, right? This person
Right.
also has experience of accounting, because it is believed that your husband will give you money for homekeeping. And you're
Yeah.
supposed to manage that money to pay the bills and put food on the table as well. So they know all these things. Now, she can also be the manager of family income at home and at work. then obviously she's a mom. She's a mother. Even if she does not have her own biological children, there are also other people that she's mentoring, right?
Yeah.
That she's mentoring.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. Even if she does not have her own children, you understand? So there's a lot. In terms of being okay, she's a daughter, she's a sister, she's a friend. Let's start with the expected role a society expects her to play, and that's the wife.
Yeah.
I always have issues with certain interpretations of wife in the Bible. In my opinion, a wife is a helpmate.
Yeah.
She's a partner. She's a comrade, as in a tag team. We do this thing together. We fight together. We defend our home together. It's not about, master and servant. Or it's not about subjugating or whatever. If a man and a woman should be looking for one thing in each other, the same thing. I want a loving man. A woman wants a loving, man. A man wants a loving woman. A woman wants a caring man. A man wants a caring woman. So if a man also wants a submissive woman, he should also be a submissive wife, husband.
Submissive husband.
Yes, and submission here is agreements, dialogue. Okay, let's do this together. Not you must do it my way or the highway. No. And a woman is able to, take all those things. A woman sacrifices her personal pleasure and ambitions a lot of the times just to make sure that the home is intact.
That brings me to one of my major question for you today.
Mm-hmm.
My question is, if a woman could sacrifice her personal pleasure, ambition, and a standard which she has set, the standard of her morality, to relieve stress of the husband and others, how should the society not see that she's capable to take care of larger firms? Let's look at it in a political standard, social way.
Mm.
It's hard for you to see a female governor in most African region or female president. So if she could understand this sacrificial aspect, so why is it hard why is it they don't see us in this aspect, even if we're in Senate or House of Assembly? But I don't know, is it that is a threat to the other parties? Or I don't want to put it in another way, and so they won't come and ask me a question after now.
In the beginning, I said the world is patriarchy. Yes. I believe, my personal opinion, that the world has all these things going about, not wanting to give women the power or allowing them to do certain things, because we are the only people that give us lemons. We'll make lemonade. We'll make fish with lemon. We will make so many things out of that lemon that you've given us, right? Give it to a man. I beg, he will just do one thing and throw the thing away, Jerry. But even with a used lemon, we will still use it to wash bathroom and toilets and wash the sink. And wash the sink and stuff like that. So that is it for you. So I believe that because we are able to perform magic most of the time, it's a threat, and it has become a threat. But the good thing is, people in the West have seen the value of women, and they don't really care who does it as long as the person does the job well, right? So now we are talking about performance and accountability and excellence in the West. That's what the West is after. That's why in UK we've had 2 prime ministers, 2 female prime ministers, right? Which are like presidents, okay?
Yeah.
our queen is female anyway, and stuff like that, and she's leading well. Me, I'm happy with her. I not going into too much, but our Africa, there's this thing about it's a man's world in Africa.
That's
right?
part is hard for me to
So
inculcate.
I have heard something from somebody before that I thought it was really, really disgusting. I know a person that had, I think they had about 6 or 7 daughters. And one day the woman was, based on the pressure her husband had put her on,
Yeah.
the woman was crying that if she can even have one boy, even if the boy is zombie, is deaf and dumb.
Yeah.
That she doesn't mind as long as he's a boy. I say, so all these your 6 fantastic girls that
What
you don't know
happens?
what they will be. So you would rather have a child, a male child with a disability, just to hear that. I say, hey, God, this is so bad. Oh. This is so bad, right? And in education, would not even allow the woman to realize that her inability to have a son is actually the man, biologically, not her. But she's not seeing it that way. You understand? If you're educated and you come into a family of boys, you should say, this woman's eggs are strong. Not the man's eggs, her
Right.
eggs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
what you should say that this woman now her egg just strong for here. But they don't see it that way. Right? And
Right.
I feel the typical African man. Now things are changing. So I'm not going to say all. I will say some. So the problem is that some African men see women as a threat. Religion does not help it. Tradition does not help it. Culture does not help it. Then mindset. Mindset, I think that one is the worst. Yeah? How can a woman be this? How can a woman be that? Let's give her a role in government that we can control her. We can tell her what to do. And if she doesn't do what we ask her to do, we will
Kick her
sack
out.
her, or we will dismiss her or kick her out, which has been happening in Nigeria for a long time. You see? So it's just, things are changing, right? And I believe personally that it has to start changing from the home, from the household, because a child grows up to value his sisters. Let's say a male child. If he grows up to value his sisters, you as the mother or the father, it is your duty to tell him that in this house, everybody is equal. If you wash the dishes today, you wash tomorrow. I don't want to know who is a boy and who is a girl. All I know is I have children. I don't want to know male or female. And I'm going to treat all my children equally. So if she's doing the dishes today, you are doing the dishes tomorrow. If she's in the kitchen, everybody comes to help me in the kitchen when I'm cooking. When it's game time, everybody plays the game. Everybody has, so it needs to start from the home. When it starts from the home, if I have to put it this way, I've noticed that guys that grew up with sisters, are more sensitive to women.
True.
They even know when the woman is on period, how they feel.
When they start overreacting, they know.
Yes.
Okay, I have to give her some space.
Because they've been living with their sister who started seeing period at 14, 15. So they know that, please. So when they now have a girlfriend or get married, they will always say, is that time of the month? I'll be, okay, sorry, no vex. Please, I beg, whatever I've done. So you see that boys that have grown up in a fair family are more sensitive and compassionate to women, right? Compared to if it's only boys, or if it's in a family where this is my son. It starts from the home. If we want to change anything, it still boils down to, for example, the woman, the primary caregiver, the parents to say, I don't do boy girl in my house. Me, for one, I always tell my children, I don't do boy girl. I don't do son daughter. everybody does housework, everybody cleans, everybody cooks. You know, you have to be sensitive to the other person. You need to teach children these things so that when they grow up, they need to understand. Because think about it, a child is a blank canvas. A child does not know a girl or a boy. When they go to nursery school, do they know the difference?
No.
They don't know the difference. They play with each other, right? It's only even in nursery school that they start to say, okay, girls play with dolls and boys play with cars. They do that. But now, here in the West, they are stopping that. They are telling them, look, when you put your playthings around, don't tell a baby girl, you know, play with. Let the baby, some baby girls will go and play with car. They'll go and take the car and be driving around. Because that's what they like. Don't put the baby there and say you must. Put all the toys on the floor. Let them go and pick what they want to pick. Let them pick any color that they want to pick. Don't label colors on them. You know, girls are no cream. Right? In them. No. Child is a child. And they should be treated equally and fair. So wife is to cheer you on for your achievement. And when I mentioned about sacrifice, yes, when a woman is in that childbearing age, going to work in pregnancy, work full, you know, age and go back to work. Now, that is where it is a partnership, right? The fact that she's taking time out to stay at home and take care of the children doesn't make her less of you. It's breaking up. Sorry, I don't know. Is it from me or from Sisi?
From you. From your
From
side.
me?
Yes.
But I'm seeing myself clearly.
Like the voice part of it. Yes.
Okay. The voice is okay. Is it better now?
Yes, but I think you have to say this part of this. You have to say what you said before, in the aspect of the toy, what a child should play with in the kindergarten.
Oh, okay, yeah. I was saying that here in the UK, they've now told nursery schools to stop categorizing toys for children in the nursery, right? So there's nothing like a little girl has to play with a doll and all, leave everything on the floor. Little girls and little boys, let them go and pick whatever toy they want to play with and encourage them to play with it. If the girl wants to play with bricks, fine. If she wants to do, are you on Wi-Fi? Sorry, picture is breaking. Okay, let me go to my phone. It's better now. Okay, all right.
Yeah,
it's better.
To before.
Okay. Yeah, so there's no need categorizing the toys they play with,
or the colors they should use.
Or the colors they should use. No. Or the things you should tell them. Every child should have, equal ability and responsibility that you can do this. You can do anything you want until you feel you're not able to do it. Here, they are encouraging a lot of women to go into engineering. Yeah, you can do engineering, building, everything. But in Africa, again, it's the fear of being, they feel that giving a woman too much power, the woman will dominate the society, will dominate the system, dominate the home. So anything to limit her power, right?
But something I find out too about some of these educated Igbo people, they empower their women. Have you noticed it?
Yes.
In
Then,
Nigeria,
mm-hmm.
99% of Igbo women, they are in top places. It's their men that did that. So
It's
I would say
it's not
Igbo
really
men are feminists.
their men, no, it's their family.
I would say
It's the
Igbo men are
family.
feminists.
No. It's not really the men, it's the family you come from.
I
A lot of
see.
Igbo people, are industrialists, yeah?
All right.
And a lot of Igbo people, they don't do my son, my daughter, right? A lot. Some do, but a lot don't. So that's why, like those ones that their fathers are traders, right?
Right.
You go to the office with your dad, oh. You go and learn the trick, oh. You learn how to order market from China, oh, and bring, you let you and your brothers, you go to the wharf and clear it. You understand? It's a lie. Igbo men open shop for their wives. That's it now. We are saying the same thing now, Abby. That's what we are saying. You didn't hear what she said. She said Igbo men empower their wives. And you're saying it's a lie. But Igbo men open shop. Opening shop for somebody is empowering the person now to do business now. Us men empower our women. David, is not you men, it's the family. Because if you marry a girl that does not know how to go to the market and haggle, you're not going to teach her how to go to the market and haggle.
No.
She learns how haggling from her home, from going to the market, from doing a lot of things. See, any family in Igbo land that, let's say the mother sells abada in the market, yeah? When she's going to the market, she's taking her children.
And they're learning the trade.
Yes, and they're learning the trade. Before you know it, the children are ordering the materials. Yeah? Any woman that is a caterer, that she cooks for business, you always see her children there. Any man that is an importer, my dear, if you go to their shop, you will see their children there, man or woman, it does not matter. Everybody has a role to play. So now, in future, when you now go to marry that girl, you are marrying and that's a very good investment now. Of course, because she's not going to, as a matter of fact, it is now when most of these men marry the women, they will now say, you have to stop. This is not your father's house. Oh. This is not your father's house. This is my house now. And blah, blah, blah has to stop. And that's where you see quarrels start sometime, because the girl will now be like, but I used to do this thing now. I used to go to markets. I'm a graduate. You understand? I can't just come and, sit at home now doing nothing. I know my uncles who have made their Igbo women. Yes, we are still saying the same thing.
It's not just about Igbo women. Anywhere they find themselves. I know my uncle is an Ishakiri man, got married to an Igbo woman, and he did his part. Today they are good.
Yes, but some men are like that. A lot of other men, no, you have to stay at home and have children. You don't have to, don't worry, I'll take care of you, what do you want, Seth? I'm making all the money now, what do you want? And then even when the woman wants to do something on her own, they'll kind of like tell you, okay, why don't you do this? Why don't you do teaching? Teaching is what wives do. So that you go to school with the children and come back with the children, so that by 3 o'clock you're at home. You're not doing anything else.
Imagine.
So
this brings me to another question I have for you today. Concerning the reference on this, concerning the video which you made about the upbringing of a child, how women plays a vital role in the family. Could you please enlighten or buttress us on this aspect of the gender roles? Like, I think this aspect of gender roles of a woman. So in one word, it's like, I don't know, it's better for you to explain it better.
Yeah, what I said is, we are getting into such a busy society where the women don't really sit their children down and talk with the kids. Like, I grew up in the village, right? And we used to have this storytelling nights, where a grandmother, anybody's grandmother, will sit under the tree, under the moonlight, and tell us a real life story for us to learn something from it. It could be how the tortoise helped the antelope, or it could be you'll be teaching you something on patience, or something on background, or politeness, or obedience, something like that. I have noticed that we have lost it because we are now a society of everybody is busy. Everybody doesn't really have time. The only time we have, I don't know, in Nigeria, it's even worse because in Nigeria is house girl doing everything. Yeah. When the parents come back, they're tired, they want to rest. So house girl that knows little or nothing is the one raising the children. Now, house girl doesn't know how to tell a girl child to sit down and sit down properly. I grew up in a society where my grandmother, close your legs. You understand? A woman should know how to sit and close her legs or wear something long so that you can use it to cover your knees. Yeah? And if you need to put your leg on top of the other, you understand? You make sure that your gown is closed. These are little things, right, that we have lost. How to behave. Those days when we were growing up, when there's an uncle that comes to visit, you come and greet your uncle and you go back inside. You don't come and sit down in front of your parents now and be listening to conversation.
Adding to the conversation.
You don't do that now. Unless you are called to come and bring snacks or something before you enter that room. Apart from that, you go back, you go outside or you're doing something. Yes, we live before. Our parents, our mothers used to call us and just tell us life stories. Don't do this, oh. Don't follow this kind of friends, oh. Don't do this, oh. You know, how many of us are doing that now? I always have chats with my children. I always make sure I sit down, watch a movie, and I tell them, see this movie. You see what happened? You see this, you see that. This thing you think is a movie, it's real life, oh. This happened to somebody, oh. You understand? So when you're doing this, learn and think. But these days you find out that we're not doing that. Children are not discussing anything with their parents. Social media is now bringing up children. Everything is social media. If a child wants to be entertained throughout this lockdown, they will go to TikTok. When was the last time, all these Bible story books that illustrated storybooks those days that we need to just read one story? All these parables, they're in the Bible. Just read it as a story, and let the children just understand, okay, about the good. If you ask a lot of children now, what is the story of the Good Samaritan? They don't know. They don't know.
They don't.
They don't know the story of the Good Samaritan now. They don't ask them the story of Joseph. They don't know. And these are stories that we grew up with. We used to, in those days in the evening in Nigeria, we used to go for charismatic prayer. I don't know, in every street, there is a Catholic charismatic prayer thing going on. Just go and join. You don't have to be going to the church. And when you join there, you will learn songs, you will learn how to memorize Bible verses and stuff. We're not doing it anymore. We're not doing it anymore. So what are we teaching the children? If you're a mother and you're a professional person, will you be teaching your children how to be? Kids those days. Would you be teaching your children nonsense? Maybe you'll be teaching them that don't do this. So this is how to sit down. This is how to talk. In Nigeria,
do you know today in my CC year, each time I go out in summer, some teenagers, they don't wear panties and their legs are open with a skirt. All they can wear is, this net's transparent hose. That's what they wear behind. And imagine a girl child sitting like that.
Who taught them? Don't blame the girl.
Most of them don't wear panties.
But don't blame her. Don't blame her because she does not know.
I couldn't bear it. And I said to this girl, please, I told her in a polite way. And she understood. She easily adjusted.
But they don't know. I tell my daughter, like yesterday, we went to the beach. And I said, yes, you need to wear shorts under your bikini. Then you wear the bikini on top. You can't wear tongue. Where are you wearing the tongue to? Even when you go and you want to wear tongue, we have different types of bikini now.
There's
we have bikini shorts and top.
Yes.
Plus the jacket on top.
Exactly.
So what happened to buying those ones? Does it have to be bikini? We have different types of bikini. So why don't you? But my problem is that nobody is teaching. I don't blame the children sometimes. I don't blame them because they don't know. Because you need to tell a child. I tell my daughter that your school uniform, even though you're wearing skirts, right? You have to wear your pants and your shorts, and I buy it. Really, teach a child. You know. Yeah. You are saying something?
Yes, over here, I said to, I
Yes,
was
you have to
discussing,
wear your pants and then wear
I was
your
discussing,
shorts and then wear your skirt. Ma, put on that light for me.
I
Yeah,
was
and then
discussing
wear your
something,
skirt
I was
so
discussing
that.
something with a female friend, and I said to her,
Mhm.
when my child is done with the elementary school and the primary school, I'm sending the child out of this country. I'm going to go back home so the child could learn. And now, I was so shocked when she said to me that I thought I would be leaving.
I have a problem with that, though. I have a problem with that. See, Nigeria is not that Nigeria you think that your child will go there and be disciplined. It's not that good there anymore. Because what I see on social media, the kind of comments I read from children, I am worried. I am
So,
worried for our children
so
in
how do we
Nigeria.
address
I
this
am
role?
really, really worried.
How do we address this role as women? This is the question.
Well, that is it, that we are not doing what we are supposed to do. That was why my video said, how many times I started with the video, I started by saying, how many times have you sat your daughter down to have a what, like life chat, like talk to your child about life? How many times? We don't do it.
There's
Everybody
no
is busy, 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 busy. Everybody is busy, busy, busy. So parents you need to teach a girl how to
do you know
sit,
do you
how
know
to talk, how to
do you,
behave.
do you know most kids you raise in the Western world, it takes the grace of God. You need to see the way they talk to their parents, uncultured.
No, it is the parents. It still boils down to the parents. It is not about Western world. Trust me, it depends on the society where you are staying. It depends on the people, the school where your child is going and mixing up with. See, a lot of people say living in the Western world, living in the Western world. I live in the Western world, right? And I live in a nice area where children are very, very respectful in my area.
Yeah.
I mean, what thing happen? Not be Austria, they don't take lights.
Enough it take light now. Enough it take light. I
Mm.
go check my dog.
Okay. So it's not it boils down to parenting. It's not about the Western society. Let me tell you, typical British children are so cultured, they are so respectful, right? They, like just like everything, there is different boroughs. There is the borough and there is the correct borough. Yes, and that is why in the UK, for instance, the borough you live in is very, very important. The school your child will go to is very important. Some people move home just to be in a certain kind of special school for their child, right? So it is
Yes.
not about going to Nigeria and you that you've been bringing up your child until your child is 13 years. You will now take your child to Nigeria and put your child in a boarding school where house girl has been sleeping with the child since the child
Hey.
was 6 or 7 years.
Hey.
No. House girl has been sleeping with that child since that child was 6 or 7. So you that your child only sees sex on the phone, you will now carry your child and keep with somebody that will explain the sex to the person. Because one thing I can guarantee you, you see all this house girl, what they do to children,
Yeah.
if you hear it, you will never leave your child with somebody. Especially those ones that the parents are wicked. Do you know how many times I've spoken to a matured man before, right? Who told me that from the age of 7, 8, he had started giving their house girl a head. Yes. Because when the parents go out, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. When the parents go out, she will go and say, oh, yeah, come. Yes. And the boy would never open his mouth to tell the parents. By the time he was 10, 11, and the thing is, the parents will come home. Oh, the children love you. Oh, the children love you. They want to stay with you. Why should be allowing the boy to be sucking her boobs? Little child, what does he know? By the time the child was 10, 11, he was having full-blown penetration sex. Yeah? Initially, the guy told me that the first time it was painful, but after a while, he started enjoying it. And that's it. No matter how stubborn he is in the house, they'll say, go and call Ngozi. That's Ngozi's son. Ngozi knows how to talk to him. Which Ngozi knows how to talk to him? The house girl will come and pet him, and he knows what he's going to enjoy. So, my dear, taking your child back to Nigeria, no. It doesn't help matters. You bring up your child the way you want your child to be. Yourself. Don't give the responsibility of bringing up your child for another person. That's wrong. It's hectic. It's stressful. Do it yourself. No teacher is going to bring up your child the way you want. It is your effort. Sometimes me, that I'm alone, it is exhausting. But you keep talking. You keep behaving in a certain way. Because these children, they don't listen to what you're saying. They look at you. If you're telling me that when I wake up in the morning, I need to go and brush my teeth, you don't brush your own teeth.
Beautiful. You know, something happened recently, and the child said, you are asking me to go to church in the morning, and what do? You bring a man home and he schools you.
You see?
A teenager of 15 years is saying this.
But yes, now, because they're not listening, they're watching you. So if you know you don't want your child to grow up and go and be working in McDonald's, what have you done about your career? If you're the kind of parent that in the evening, like today now that is hot, you are in the pub drinking beer, what are you expecting? And then you go and drink beer and you not come home on time. And when you come home, you start looking for who to beat. What are you expecting? Where are you for your children? You have to be there. You don't leave the responsibility. You gave birth to that child. You decided I want to have a child, and then the child came. It is your responsibility to make sure that that child, you do everything within your human power to make sure that that child is prepared to live without you. We are bringing up these children so that they can live without us, because we are not going to be here all the time. So that's instead of me ironing for you when you are 12, 13, when are you going to learn how to iron?
Important.
So me too, I will sit down, I'll give you iron. I'll say, oh yeah, in front of me, come and do it. It also takes patience, because I have to watch you. And God forbid, by the time you iron your hand once, you will be very, very careful.
And you'll be good at it the next time.
Yes, but I have to be there to monitor what you're doing. So that's where you as a parent, you come in. You just have to be there. Don't give the responsibility of bringing up your child to any auntie or uncle. You don't know what they are doing. See, when somebody has control over a child, you don't know the kind of...
She said she's relocating because of the child. She wants the child to have this African
mentality.
Yeah, she wants the child to know where she's from. I'm like, really? Do you want to do this?
You can do that by you can do that by taking the children for holiday now. And you stay there with them.
The father is typical Igbo. It's like, no, I will not have a child that'll be reading law for me in my house.
Okay. Well, I don't know what to say. Oh, I hope it works. I hope it works for them. I hope it works for them. But my point is, if you say you want to bring up your child in an African way, are you African? There's my children eat all my food. I make egusi. Oh. There's even one traditional food called ikpankuko, cocoyam porridge. I make it. Yes.
And you know how to eat it.
You know how to eat it. Hey, I make it with cocoyam and ugu. I cook with dry fish. I don't speak English in the house. I speak my language. I speak Igbo to them. So if you're gossiping in Igbo language, my children will hear. Right? So I don't need to go to, I teach them broken, I speak Igbo, I speak broken English, I speak street English. Now what for you? Now what, which one they do that person where head no correct now? They know all those things. They say it to themselves. You understand? Are you okay? So I don't need to take them to Niger to teach them our Niger way. Hey, yeah, I am Casbit. I don't need to take them. Yeah. Cas, now wow, how you doing? So you don't need to take your children to Niger to teach them Nigeria. You can say it yourself. Hey, I see you. Now wow. How you doing? So you don't need to you don't need to travel. You speak your language. You teach them. I teach them my culture, my tradition. I teach them street sense, right? And I watch them and I listen to them and I know how they do things. I grew up in Surulere, so I teach them some Surulere tactics as well. So all those things, you don't need to take them to Nigeria to learn it. I teach them here. That okay, my children, they know what's dawa dawa now. I used to tell them that I don't like to use Maggi to cook. I prefer to use dawa dawa. What's dawa dawa? Oh, it is local beans. It's like Maggi. Those days that our parents don't have Maggi, that's what they use to make the food delicious. My daughter knows how to use dawa dawa in a soup.
Okay, then
even in stew.
And they will tell you now that it's dawa dawa they want to use because you've taught them.
Yes, now. Yes. And I teach them all these things. So, why do you need to take them to Nigeria for somebody to come and be molesting them? See, anytime you're hearing this uncle is strict. You see that strict uncle? Now they tell you, say, come, your breast is getting big. Oh, come, let me suck it. Let me suck it and know if this is your breast. This is your breast, eh? Look at this girl of yesterday, oh. Look at this small girl. Come, it's your breast. Come, open your this thing. Let me see. Do you have pubic hair now? You now have pubic hair. Come, let me touch it. That's it. It has started though. If na girl wey no get sense, when parents never teach. Uncle says I should come, let him see if I have pubic hair. Before you know, she done the open cloth for uncle. See, perpetrators there, the first set of perpetrators you have in a family are from the family. They are from that's daddy's brother, daddy's uncle, the house girl, the houseboy, the gatesman. So here in the West, to an extent, I would say, thank God we don't have all those things. We don't have all those things.
No.
And even if you don't teach your child, if the child goes to school, they teach the children, when somebody says, open your dress, don't open, no, come and tell us. When somebody says they want to touch your private, don't allow it. Come and tell us or call this number. In Nigeria, who is doing that?
Nobody.
In Nigeria, have you ever heard in any school that the teacher raped the student and the teacher went to jail?
Never. Never.
So what are you saying? In Nigeria, you can't even fight the teacher that raped a child. What can you do? Even the school will want to cover the matter. Brenda, darling, how are you? Even the school will want to cover the matter. So is that where you want to carry your child and go and keep? Do you know what goes on in boarding schools in Nigeria?
Lord.
Please let me not start there. Let me not start there.
Wait. you know, in boarding house, you can give the gatesman money and the sugar that they will come and pick you.
Oh, what are you? That's boarding school, oh. That's secondary school, oh. Not be saying a big school, oh.
Yes.
So what are you saying? So why do you want to go and put your child there to go through that? A lot of people do it in Europe without us knowing. No, the difference between Europe and Nigeria is that if you catch anybody doing that in Europe, the person is going down. In fact, now there are websites. Some are run by the police. Some are run by individuals. They know all these men that pose as young people and start going into young people's accounts, maybe Instagram accounts and Facebook accounts, to lure them. You see a 50-year-old man claiming he's 14, telling you to come and meet him somewhere. A lot of policemen have, sections that do that. When they know that that's the type, why do we have a sex offenders register here? Do we have a sex offenders register in Nigeria?
No.
But here you have a sex offenders register, because anybody where they don't catch, where they try molest speaking 100 years ago, they put the name there, and the name is there forever. Talk less of somebody that raped somebody. Hell no, your name is going into the sexual offense for life, meaning that let's say the boy tried to rape somebody at 14, and then 30 years later he wants to run for presidency. It's not possible.
That is not going to work out.
It's not possible. Somebody will say, you, when you were 14 years, that you did this, like, we won't allow. But in Nigeria, criminals are ruling the nation. That's why they cannot put a law against rape or domestic violence or anything that has to do with women. They can't put a law, because all of them, as far as I'm concerned, I can say it in front of them, all of them are perpetrators. And because they are perpetrators, that's why they don't want to do anything about it. Because if they don't like it, they will do something about it. But just like they support fraudulent government officials, they support everything bad. There's no law, there's no punishment. So it's going to continue. You understand? So, my dear, that's going back to Nigeria. No. Parents generally should learn how to look after their children, talk with their children, communicate with their children. See, children in the UK, I don't know about Austria, but they are not that bad. It's the parents that have the problem.
Children in Austria, they have two categories of children. The one that listen to the parents, and the one that they just want to start taking drugs at early teenhood.
Okay. Those ones that want to start taking drugs, have you asked where they got that inspiration from?
Peer pressure, most times.
What about family background? What's the time? The time is 8 o'clock. At 8 o'clock, what is a child doing outside the house?
Okay. Do you know? I remember last year, I went, I don't know what I went for. I think the same is reasonable. It's not for normal weekend outing. It was something concerning a meeting or so, and I didn't finish on time. I saw a teenager out at 11, 12. She went to the cinema with a friend, and she's stuck or stranded.
Why didn't she call her parents?
She called her parents, and the mom was shouting at her.
Is that what she's supposed to do?
The mom was shouting at her, yeah, that why will you call me to call a taxi for you? And why will I pay for the taxi for you?
Okay.
He then said, give the phone to my daddy. Let me talk to my daddy. Is my dad there? Please don't tell my dad. Don't worry. Don't tell my dad. I will borrow from you.
That kind of home, you get ACB. You get ACB for the home.
Okay, now that kind of shy, staying out that late, going out to see movie and coming down late. Can't there be a movie of 4 p.m. to 7 p.m.?
It boils down to what the parents have been taking and how the parents are themselves. Listen, if as a parent, you make out time to be with your children, I cannot be at home and you're outside. Who gave birth to you now? Don't be me.
So this is it. So different upbringing
But
when they
whereby
are
the
also
parent is outside and the children are able to monitor your timing, then as you they waka your own, then too they waka their own. Then when they know you are coming back at maybe whatever 12 midnight, by 11:45 they are back home and they'll go and lie down in their bed.
oh God.
So me
So
that
so this the system
I
here
make,
for
it's not the system, it's the parents.
the system which the parents do lay their ground, it's not helping matter. Most like this city now is a working class city. When I say working class,
Mm-hmm.
those that came all the way from Nigeria, that came maybe from one sick village, and they came to make money. All they think is
Exactly.
money.
They will take all the shifts. David says when the kids are, listen, there's an Igbo language, David, as in Okurana Akapanoye Korea. So, an okra,
It's not a big
okra can
personal.
never, I mean, English, yes, thank you very much. When you make sacrifices and you plan your life in a certain way, even your children will know that you too, that is the mother, that you have score in your brain. They should not try you. But when they know that you're a slave mama,
Okay.
that's where all that nonsense will be happening. I once know somebody who was telling me, when he was growing up, his mother knew he had different girlfriends. So sometimes if he's in the room with a girl and another girl will come, the mother will tell him, he's in the room with a girl. Do you want to wait? Skinny call. In my mind, I'm like, really? That kind of mother. Same person again told me how the mother now had a boyfriend that used to come to the house. I
Okay.
said, no wonder. You have a teenage son in the house. So when your own boyfriend come and you enter room, his own girlfriend come, they will enter room. So people will be doing a shagging competition in the house.
What the heck?
But that is it. So my dear, me, I use my own experience to talk, minus what I have studied and learned in child psychology, to say parents have a huge role to play. Parents have a huge role to play. See, just do your own bit as a
Now
parent
the question
and
is
just leave the rest.
why are everyone putting the issue on mothers?
Because you have to portray yourself with respect for your child to portray his or herself to respect you. And now, you won't tell me that you are never at home, you are doing anyhow, and then you want the children to respect you. Do you talk to them? Do you talk to them? Do you talk? How many parents sometimes will just go into their children's room and just sit on the bed and be gisting?
Is there time for that? Have they finished thinking of the money?
That's the problem. Me and you, we are saying the same thing. The money is good,
Oh God.
The money is good, don't get me wrong. But you need to have time for your children. I personally would always recommend, if you cannot get a job where you work from home, work part-time. Work part-time. Because what you don't want at your old age is for these children to be disturbing your old age. Right? It's for people to be complaining up and down about your child. You don't want that.
Do you know kids say I can't talk to a French child? They will tell me, some of them, not a friend, people I'm not close to, because French child, I don't know, I can't say any bad attitude. But talk to a child which you don't know. And the mother will ask you, go and have your own. Go have your own. Wait till you have your own. Then you tell me this child, and you tell me this child would not be sports. It's my child. I'm the one that know where to touch the child, where to be the child.
Okay, so with such parents now, what do you do?
Every malauti, okay.
I think I'm lucky. The kind of friends I have,